My beloved, today I want to speak to your heart about suffering, how it is not the end, but a doorway to something greater. Perhaps you are facing an illness, a hardship that weighs upon you, and you feel alone. But I tell you, you are not alone. Jesus is with you, closer than the very breath in your lungs. He sees your pain, he understands your sorrow, and he walks with you through every moment of suffering. Basilea Schlenk, a woman of faith, once lay sick and isolated. But she discovered something beautiful, something that can change your life today. A simple cross hanging on the wall reminded her that her suffering was not without meaning. Jesus, the very Son of God, wore a crown of thorns, bore the weight of unimaginable pain, and suffered not because he had to, but because he loves you. He endured the cross so that you would never have to suffer alone. Even now, in your struggle, he is with you, weeping when you weep, comforting you with his love. Psalm chapter 34:5 says, "Look to him and be radiant, your face will never be ashamed." My child, lift your eyes from the weight of your burdens and fix them upon Jesus. As you do, something miraculous will happen, peace will flood your soul, joy will rise within you, and your suffering will be transformed into a time of divine intimacy. This is not empty hope, it is the living testimony of countless saints who have found in their deepest trials the greatest nearness to God. If you find yourself unable to do anything because of sickness or struggle, remember that God is working in you. When you feel weak, his power is being made perfect. When you have no strength left, he becomes your strength. When all else is stripped away, he remains. Surrender to his will. Say, "Yes, Father, your will be done," and watch as he turns even your suffering into a channel of blessing, not just for you, but for others who will one day look to your testimony and find hope. The enemy may whisper lies, saying your pain is pointless, that God has forgotten you. But let me remind you of the truth: God's will is always love. His plans are always good. He is using this very moment to draw you deeper, to mold you, to refine you into the image of Christ. Your suffering is not wasted. It is sacred in his hands. So, praise him, not for the pain, but for the presence of Jesus in the midst of it. Praise him because he is making all things new. Praise him because he is turning your night into dawn, your sorrow into joy, your suffering into a testimony that will shine for eternity. Let the words of your heart be this: Lord, I trust you. Even in this, I trust you. And as you trust, as you surrender, as you look to him, you will see that he is faithful. You will taste and see that the Lord is good. And one day, whether here or in eternity, you will look back and say, "It was worth it, for I have known him more." And that, my beloved, is the greatest treasure of all.